What infrastructure will be needed to deliver on the promise of connected cars?
What we'll need is a hybrid infrastructure, and that infrastructure needs to be ubiquitous, needs to be secure, and it needs to be resilient.
So when we're talking about security, are we talking about security of the data? Are we talking about security of the vehicle? I mean, where does the balance lie?
And this is a great question, and actually you're asking a couple of different questions about security. There's security of the data in it so far as it pertains to consumers and their data privacy, but there's also security of the network. And from our standpoint, satellite actually delivers the most secure type of network. So it's really about ensuring that you're delivering the right applications over the right network in a hybrid environment.
Gaining consumer trust is obviously going to have to be a big part of getting connected cars out there and used. How do we sort of convince people that a car isn't going to be hacked while they're driving along? Because that is a fear that people have.
Of course it is, and we've seen that in the past. You have to demonstrate security, you have to show your qualifications to have that security. Ultimately, people are willing to share a surprising amount of information if they feel that they derive a significant material gain from that in some way. So it is a balance. You have to demonstrate security, but people also will naturally let themselves share information if they're deriving a benefit from that.
If you could sort of send a message to policymakers, what would it be to encourage smart cars?
Well, ultimately in the smart car connected environment, this is going to be a global industry. So policy making and regulatory can't really take place at a local or national or even European level. All right, Europe has to have a part in it, but it really needs global harmonization at the end of the day.
And isn't that a challenge when we often hear, oh, South Korea is ahead of us, oh, the US is ahead of us in terms of things like 5G. How do you overcome, that sort of we're in a race mentality?
Well, we are in a race in many ways. And the question is whether Europe can help lead and influence the standards that are derived, or whether they have to follow and then adhere to. But there will be standards and they will harmonize globally over time. It's whether you want to influence that or be influenced by that.